Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever Mainline, and I'm going to get this intro done before we hit the tunnels that are coming up. We're following along the train that we commissioned at the end of the last episode, which is currently on its way to the line. It is, however, taking the scenic route, as we... I don't know why it's taking the scenic route, it just is, but it doesn't appear to be lost. I suspect it just wants to see a bit of the world before it settles down into its natural habitat, which is shuffling goods between the Ark Hub and Winchestertonfieldville. Right, so in today's episode we're going to finish up tarting around with Winchestertonfieldville, and we're also going to apply a couple more commuter routes to other towns because they're really, really useful. Stick around. Now, when I said this train was miles away from anywhere useful, I wasn't kidding. The astute amongst you will know exactly where we are. The rest of you, however, will want me to say that we are somewhere between Pleasant View and Shermer. Yes, it has gone halfway round the track so far, still with no sign of actually entering into the service arena that we had hoped it would jump into. Now, before we head out to Winchestertonfieldville, which is where we're going to situate ourselves for today, in the main, I thought we'd have a quick look at the old profits meter here, and you'll see last year we made 200 million quid, which is lovely. Income now over $1 billion comfortably, and the thing is, we've been making profit every year despite having to lash out a significant amount on new trains. I mean, if you go back 2 years, which is when the last episode was, we spent 16 and a bit on some construction, 200 million on new vehicles, and we still came out 70 grand up, 70 million, I beg your pardon, 70 million up there, which is super duper. So there we go. So we're in business quite easily, frankly. I can afford to run services that don't make any money, which is why I run some services that don't make any money. Right, okay, Winchestertonfieldville, here we are. Now then, because I know you enjoyed it so much last time around, I'm going to build a few more roads, because I really despise myself that much. Here we go. Right, get some of this in. I want to backfill this with some more housing. So let's do that by removing some perfectly viable housing. Yeah, there's logic in there. Too much. What do you mean too much slope? There can't possibly be too much slope. It's not like we're building on a mountainside here. Oh, well, okay, maybe we are a little. All right, well, you got a reprieve there, but no. Here comes the compulsory purchase order. No, hold on. We'll move along. Here comes a compulsory purchase order. The small house there going, ha, 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 suckers. You and your swanky big houses should have a little house like mine. They go, shut up, I'm buying your house. What? Right, and then we need to, I need a connection up here somewhere. Although if there is too much slope, then maybe this hotel will bite, or is it an apartment complex? I don't know how complex it is. How much slope are we talking about? There genuinely isn't that much slope. Where is it causing slope then? Oh, it's going to be here. There it is. That's what's doing it. The weird knock-on effects of building a bit of road causing... Oh, my goodness. Well, that's bulldozed. There we go. Happy to help you all live a more productive life by removing a heinous piece of road there that I shall now relay. And the reason for spending a little bit of time relaying a little bit of road is purely so that when I come to lay quite a lot of road in a moment, it works. Possibly. Right, now, where was I? I was here. Now, probably you'll let me do that now. Yeah, you will. Okay, in which case we'll go straight through that bit instead. Beautiful. Right, and then to follow that up with some smoothing is the sensible thing for us all to do there. Jolly good. See, look, they're moving straight back in. It's not like I've caused that much disruption. We'll bang a bit in here, because otherwise the AI likes to think, oh, you know what? I'm going to leave a ruddy great hole in the middle of proceedings because that's productive. That's going to help all of those catchment areas really get the most out of themselves. and there's a bit of that. There you go. Just ease it in there. Oh, in fact, we probably want that's the stuff. Yeah, there you go. And you're golden. Right, okay, smashing. Now then, we have 2 whole places where you can cross from one side of the town to the other. I want to make sure that everything is hooked up. But let's zone ourselves somewhat. Although actually it's less about zoning and it's more about catchment radiuses. Radii, one might say, to get this working. How well it works, really, really hard to tell. But will it work? Oh, don't know. So as you can see, we've already got pretty solid catchment over here. So maybe it is Riverside where we want the next bus stop, which would be charming and delightful and bijou. Right, let's do a bit of that. And then, oh, look at this lot. Oh, yeah. Oh, you totally need a bus stop. Oh, a bus stop is the one thing that's really missing from your life. And then we'll stick another one over there. And you've got a little bit of overlap of catchment going on, but you're getting some new stuff as well. And it means that people have the choice as to whether to get the distant stop or the one that's more or less outside their front door. And then if we swing round here and come back this way, we can stop just about outside the station, because that invariably makes people cheerful. And then we can head round the other side and we'll stop. Why not over here? Why not indeed? In fact, why there? Okay, let's not stop there. Instead, let's stop near the ferry, and that way we might conceivably drive an extra 3 passengers there once in a while. And that will make all the difference. Those 3 passengers, it's very much like the butterfly effect starring Ashton Kutcher, is that, you know, things happen and he wakes up with no legs. Right, let's get a route built here. Right, okay, now this is going to be one of my magical... What? Oh, I see. Okay, oh, that's fun. Yeah, this is going to be one of my magical back and forth services. So hopefully we'll do this correctly. Right, there's 2, and then we go around the corner, and then you want to go up to this one. And then out from there you go to there, and then from there you hit this one, and then you go to the station. No, you don't want to go to the station that way. Look, I know that's the logical way to go, but you're going to be turning around if you do it like that. And then over to there. What's wrong with this? Is that not actually a tunnel? You've built a tunnel entrance there, and you've got a tunnel exit there. Now, I am led to believe that those 2 are connected up, because that is way faster than the route you're proposing. I cannot stress how much closer it might... Oh, hold everything. No, it's not. It's not closer. Right, okay, we need another stop. Okay, well, I can... Yeah, that's all right. It'll work. And we'll stick one in here. And then after 8th Street, which is the station... No, that's Cedar Street. Well, where's 8th? Oh, 8th is up there. Right, so after Cedar Street, we then go to this chap here, 7th, and then 8th. And then you're back in 6th. So we go 6th, yeah, and then back to 8th. So 7, and then 6, and then 5. That's got it. 4, and 2, and job done. Yep, that's the ticket. Great. Okay, 16 stops. That's 8 buses. Yeah, I know. Might seem like overkill. Probably because it is. Commuter? No. That would be communter, which sounds vaguely offensive. Commuter. Winch. There you go. Easy. And then bang a depot in somewhere. I don't imagine there's one anywhere for about 1,000 miles. You've got one over here. That's close-ish. And you've got one in Hogsmeade. That's also close-ish. Well, let's use Hogsmeade. By road vehicles. Right, okay. Now then. Just buses is all we need. I'm going to go with non-bendy bus. Although the Van Hool Ag 300 U of is rather splendid. I think we might go with the Mercedes-Benz Citaro Mark II Arriva Max unbranded, which is obviously one of my favourites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Right. All right, chaps. Get to work. Oh, we don't use the... okay. Win. No, I don't care what my convention is. I can't be bothered typing out Winchestertonfieldville. Yes. Which is, as you know, the fictitious town from Mr. Dietz. The Adam Sandler classic. Yes. Yes, it is. Right, okay. Now then, we'll let those settle in. But we also need to set up delivery services from yonder goods depot out to them's what might like it. Now, the good news is that dropping off here gives us near total courage. Yes, near total courage for industrial stuff on this side of the town. But we are going to need. I mean, I suspect that's one there. That's actually got pretty good coverage, you know. But I don't think it hits enough of the commercial. It doesn't really hit any of the commercial. So one more stop out in commercial land, probably in there. I don't know why there's so much traffic here. Anyway, let's make some more. And also, oil. I hear you cry. Yes. Oil. Well, I wonder, do those freight wagons that I'm using carry oil? I know they carry fuel, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I'll have a quick poke at that in a moment, and we'll find out. Because if it does, then we might be able to turn the delivery service into one that works in both directions. Right. Spin you around. Sorry, I Soviet spun it there for a moment, which, you know, you would have thought I'd stop doing that, but apparently not. Right, what's your catchment? Solid. Okay, good. And extending way beyond where it needs to as well. So we just need to set up a truck line that... Do we want to take this one into account? I mean, it doesn't hit very much. I don't think we do. I think we'll just do that. Oh, it's on the way. Yeah, all right. Okay. In which case, we might as well add that in as well, although that pains me. No, that's fine. It's okay. It's all good. Right. Delivery. Yeah. Winch. And obviously, that's a road route. I shouldn't need to explain to myself later on that is a road route when I deploy road vehicles onto it. Now, we're going to go with, optimistically, a couple on here. Now, I don't want to use... I usually use these chaps here because they're, you know, they all carry 20 units, which is a nice number, and there's a good variety of different trucks going on, which is why I'm going to use it. Yeah, we'll do that many, which is probably overkill. Delivery winch, please. There you go. Right. Now then, for my next trick, we're going to see if, because I'm not running Gundersons on there, I'm running Sigurd's flipping container truck, lorry truck containers, and therefore I've no idea what they carry. Pretty sure they carry fuel. Where did I leave the depot? This is just the quickest way to find out. Right, okay, so what's it going to be? What are we packing? What are we storing? What are we carrying? What are we doing with ourselves? Come on, depot, I've warmed you up enough. You shouldn't have to be thinking about this. You should just pop into life dramatically and deliver unto me the full list of toys that I have to play with. We are using these here. Right. What have you got? You do carry crude oil. Ooh, right then. Okay, in that case, we can set up an additional route. And even if this only carries, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 items at a time, it's still going to make me a little bit of cash simply because of the distance covered. Probably. Yeah, so I'm vaguely confident that that could pan out. I'm also suddenly wondering whether sticking a junction here, a set of points in to get the new freight route over onto its line, would have been a good idea. But it's probably a little late for that, so I won't bother. Right, okay, so we're going to go from. Oh, you haven't built the truck stop. All right, we're not going to go from anywhere yet. Hold on. Let's make this look reasonably sociable. Now, I'm not going to run anything super huge on here. I'm not going to run those big 75 haulers because we'll only take it as part of the entrepot JOD logistique in order to make that work. Oh, yeah, I know. That name has stuck in my mind for some reason. Also, why is there so much traffic here? I don't really understand it. Now, I know I just stuck a whole mess of buses up there. Where are they trying to get to? All right, if I were to run a bypass like Hudson would there, then all right, that might alleviate some, particularly those that are trying to work their way around the corner. Actually, I didn't realise how close it is to Trumpton. But yeah, right, okay, come on, focus. So if we wang this off over this way and onto there, then any traffic that is trying to move into city, as it were, should be able to just do so. Bit of smoothing. I'll tell you what, I'm in the kind of mood that says let's tree gun this as well. We'll make this a little tree-sided processional whatever, and it will be amazing. You're tree-sided. Well, okay, if you say so. There you go. See, look. Doesn't that look nice? The answer is yes, it does. It looks very nice. There you go. We'll do the other side as well. And we'll leave a little bit of space there because I'm going to connect those roads up. And then run it around here. In fact, if I were to connect more things onto this interstate, then we might have a bit more success vis-a-vis freeing up some traffic. Not the 4, give me the 2. I know, we'll just use the standard stuff. I know I've got a mod that allows me to use 86,000 different styles of road, and I always use the default ones. There'll be a reason for that. Right, okay, so if I peel this along there, yep, and then this on here. Now, we are getting into the realm of significant optimism here in terms of will the AI build anything on there. It doesn't seem to matter how easy you make life for it. It follows its own path. It has its own agenda, and it's likely to completely ignore anything you try and do to be helpful. But that's the robot uprising for you. It's coming for us all pretty soon. Right, okay. They're still using that way, obviously. I don't understand why it's so popular. That's odd, is what it is. Or rather, that it's not that it's so popular, because there's, I mean, town is here. It's just this corner for some reason is slowing them right down. Because after that, they all space out quite nicely. Now, obviously, flinging a whole bunch of Michelin trucks down there is not going to be assisting matters particularly. But I'm not going to make it any better. That's what I mean. That's the only reason that it's causing me a pause for a moment. Is I'm about to make it even more heinous. Do I? No, stop it. M and N do the rotation. Yeah, I know, but mouse wheel is really intuitive. I know it is. How long have you been playing this game? Oh, I don't know. Long enough. Right, okay, there you go. I mean, seriously, all this should be second nature to you, dude. It's, again with the dude. I don't know what's wrong with him. Right, okay, so we got that plumbed in. We can now just plumb something else in. Plumb the route in, which is going to go only as far as there. So that's going to be a nice quick turnaround. So I think one truck initially will be sufficient. Actually, what's the name of this? This is the Eye of Harmony. Of course it is. So this is Eye of Harmony. Yeah, no, wait, supply. Thank you. Eye of Harmony, Wunch. Right. And then we can basically shuttle these barrels along to the main goods line here, whereupon, if fortune smiles on us, they will be cavorted back to the Ark Hub. They might not, but if cavorting is available, they will cavort. Right, some kind of oil tanker type truck type of deal would be super duper. I think we're going to be using the manned F2026 footer there, which is obviously one of the greatest in my collection. Yes. Okay, right. Yep, one please. Thank you. Set it onto the supply, Eye of Harmony, whatever. There you go. Right, good. That has now prepped Winchestertonfieldville for maximum success. I don't think there's much I could do beyond that to grant it any more possible, I don't know, wonderment, luxury. Pick a word. But yeah, we'll see how that gets on in the fullness of time. Meanwhile, we'll cast our eye up this route here and see if anything has transpired yet. Not entirely sure where the big lad's got to, but he'll be around, I'm sure. I hope. Right, okay, well, what have we got coming in here? Nope, that's not it. What are you? Yeah, no, you're not it either. Although, look, I mean, you know, we'll stop for a quick train spot. There you go. You got a New Zealander and a Class 86 there passing one another in spectacular fashion, both of which are running pretty much empty, which is exactly what you don't want to see. Hey ho. Right, where is it? That's the only question that really matters. It wasn't the one that was just entering the tunnel. How much are you packing? 132. What are your finances? Barely breaking even. Never mind. Right, now then, while we wait, we're going to do two things. First, I'll lay in another commuter route somewhere in a moment. But first, I'm going to put a train or two down the scenic line. It would seem incredibly churlish not to. So you've got Caprica here, and we could easily have that as the kind of the termination point. And then where do we go? Right. Find the exit to this tunnel. I suspect it's that. Is it? Let's have a look. Yes. Well, you did kind of know that already. And then we cut through the mountains. This is a lovely route. And end up in Alpha Complex. Of course you do. Right, in that case, I'm just going to run a point-to-point. Now, point-to-point services are rarely profitable. You usually want 2 or 3 stations. No, you want 3 or 4 stations in order to make them work. But in this case, I really don't care. I'm going to run something that looks nice. Now, previously, the route that this was, before I deleted it, was the one that headed from Alpha Complex, oddly enough, to Caprica, and then it headed out and hit Sherma before coming back the other way, hitting Hill Valley, and then coming back to Caprica. And when I'd changed everything to double up, double down, it could no longer do that. It got very upset with me and insisted upon doing an entire lap of the main line before getting to where it needed to be, which was, well, it was unhelpful, to say the least. Right, so you're quite happy turning around at 5. Okay, and then what happens? You come back out in the way you're supposed to, and then you whip it around up here. Why are there no signals nearby? What have you got against having a signal here somewhere? Ah, I see, you've got one just before the road. Okay, well, that's okay. That's all right. Where's the next set of signals? A little bit further up. Right? We want another couple in between. Just because. Okay, I don't think I'm going to run that many up here that it makes that much of a difference. But we'll do it anyway. So this is a cross, allegedly, from... In fact, I'm giving it a new designation. This is direct. And it goes from Alco to... I don't even know what... that feels like it might be what I would have called Caprica City. Capruk. Yeah, that feels plausible. Now then, how does one get a train to there? Well, you send it out of this depot. Okay, we're going to choose something ultra speedy that we've not already used, if such a thing exists. Mind you, what have we got in the diesel bag? I should always check the diesel bag. We've got these chaps which are already running, so that's a no. The Siemens Inspiro, no, that's only 140, slow coach. The BR 6 foot 140. The SN seats 160. That's not enough. What about a bit of Class 150? Yeah, 130 kilometres an hour. It's just not going to cut it. I mean, a lovely looking train, but it's not for us. Let's head over here and see what we have instead. We're not running the Hexagon. In fact, is that not what was on there before? I think I mothballed the Hexagons. And also, I think I've got something that does 320. And here it is. It's the MUDB, the Deutsche Bahn Siemens Velaro D Class 407. 132 passengers. This is going to suit us down to the ground. You've got the dual stocks now. What else? I'm just going to have a poke, as you know. We like to poke our collection once in a while. We're already running javelins. Oh, hello. I don't think we've used these. No, this is the Italian. Oh no, I'm not sure we have. You used the Italian Eurostar, which we've not checked in on since then. You've got the Shinkansen, which we deployed not so long ago. Yeah, you did that. All right, let's put this Italian into service then. Second generation 8-car set, 102 or 204. I assume this is a longer train, which is a good thing. We will buy 3. It's a quite an investment, but you never know. Right, okay, so we'll set this on the direct route, Alco Kapruk, and we'll see how we get on with that. So let's have a look at its nose as it comes out of the depot here. There's a javelin going past in the background. Very nice. And oh yes. Oh yes. I'll tell you what, I've only got 2 Italian trains in this, but they're very smart. Other observations in terms of train stuff? Oh, okay, since you're asking. The Dutch stuff, it's all very yellow. All of it. Every single piece of it. Hope you like yellow. How long is this train? I only ask because my platforms are only... How long is this train? No, I'm not even joking, fam. What's how many wagons do you want? Really? You want this many? This is a half-kilometre train here. This is possibly more train than I have platform. It's like playing Snake. Okay, well, let's go and see if it turns around at Alpha Complex, because if it doesn't, then I'll switch it for the shorter form version, and everything will be back in alignment with the universe. But as it stands, I have no small concern that I don't think it's going to fit. Now, my stations are relatively lengthy, and in fact they're longer than they've ever needed to be historically in order to support service such as this. But that's a long old train, that one, and I hope it's able to perform to its full capacity. Anyway, good news, it has transferred onto the correct line straight away, so that's something. Oh, I don't know, I think we might be all right, we'll find out fairly quickly. But yeah, I mean, look, this is a fairly standard thing that we run in there, and you kind of go, passengers thinking, oh, I'm going to get a sneaky front end of train seat here, end up walking for 3 minutes to get actually to the end of the train, and in we come. Because if it doesn't fit this end, it ain't going to fit the other end either. Oh, it's so close. So close, but the last carriage is just over. Now, how long is this station? It's 320. I think I went for 360 by default, so it should fit. Possibly. Yeah, we don't know. but it's going to look absolutely rock and roll going along the scenic line. So I might we might go and watch that for a minute, because I think it will be in our interest to do so. So let's ride on. I know we've ridden this route before. 2 passengers waiting, look. And I only just commissioned this route, although it was a previous route, so I'm talking nonsense. Okay, off we go. Now, allegedly this is capable of 300 kilometers an hour. Pulling this number of wagons, I've no idea if this has the sufficient get up and go within multiple cars to power it anywhere close to its top speed. Because unless you've got multiple power units on here, it may struggle to impress. But we're coming up on 100 now. Yeah, I know, it's hardly medal-worthy behaviour, but we point it out anyway, simply as a passing of a milestone there. Now, we're only going as far as Caprica, so once we get there, we'll know exactly how fast it's topped out at. And we're still not exactly pedal to the metal at this stage. That's 125. Ooh. Now, there's a downhill bit, but of course the tail end of this massive beast is still going to be going uphill at the moment. There we go. Well, the acceleration is consistent, I'll give you that. There's 150. Yeah, lovely. There's some mountains, look. Yes, that's charming. And, better yet, there is another good reason to ride on this, is that on the very slightest of chances that new goods train has actually found itself in the right place on the right line, we should drive past it. But I'm not holding out too much optimism that will be the case. I suspect it's still winding its way around the entire circuit of the track in order to find its way to victory. Coming up on 175, there you go. That's lovely. Oh, were that one could turn one's head. One would very much look out the window at this stage, but no, we're too busy being mounted on the front, on the bonnet, which would make us a hood ornament. There you go. That's how you internationalise that kind of sentiment. Right, coming up on 200, but this corner feels quite severe. Now, I wouldn't have purposefully put in a corner that was there was a massive slowdown, but you can't tell where one is going to turn up. I'm hoping, as much as we've driven along this one before, I am hoping for a really nice view at some point. There you go, we're going over a road. Civilization returns to us. Well, that's lovely. Oh, a bit of a ravine. Nice, nice. Not what you want to drive off. The fact that we're not triple tracked yet is an indicator. However, that is the cattle and grain farm there. So we are now working next door to that goods line, and I suspect that this lump coming up on the left is where we had some clippage issues trying to get one to pass over the top. I can think of no other reason why it would be there. As we approach 250, okay, all right, 250, that's respectable. This is it's got the possibility, but now there's the view. Oh, lovely. But now we're getting it. Oh, look at this tunnel, very, very nice. Bit more downhill. That's good, but there's got to be some corners on here that are going to restrict its speed. As much as I would have attempted to avoid it, I think in order to wind this train around the side of the mountain, I would have needed to do some speed restrictions at some point. But not so much so far. Oh, this is good. This was worth doing. I did wonder whether this was going to be quite a dull section of visual entertainment for you to ride along a track that we'd ridden before, but turns out, no, it's quite nice. There we go. There was a bit of a speed drop there. We dropped from around 260 to 250 again. That's acceptable. We're not going to hit 300. We haven't got time, but we'll get close. I think 270, maybe 270. No, that's it. That's your lot. No, slowing down now. As we make the approach to Caprica. Okay, well, 260's all right. We managed to hold above 250 tree for a reasonable amount of time, so it's all in all not bad. And this looks like passengers. Doesn't look like a huge number of passengers, but it's certainly some. Right, we'll jump off and let's see what this one earns. Obviously, we get a terrible view from here. Can we get inside the station? No, but we can see mysterious peoples. 157k, and that was with, you know, barely a handful of passengers. No path electric. What? That's not true. Everything's electrified. You're just lost. I bet I've got one-way signals. I mean, I can see one, but you should be going the right way there. Okay. All right. Well, that's... No, this should work. I'm seeing a red bit there. Oh, no. The train is too long. Yep, it's overlapped the points, look. Right, okay, fine. In that case, we'll do a quick switcheroo on that. We'll change it for the short one. There we go. Electric. Find it in the list. Okay, well, it was close. It was real close, but I'm very glad that we spotted this first time out. On replace now. Yes. And then, how are you going to make this work? We're going to turn it around. Turn it. Change its destination. I'm not sure you're going to be able to do that there. Yeah, I've never figured out. Maybe there is a button, but I've never figured it out. To make the train change its destination. No, not now. No, stop that. No, you've turned up at the wrong time, you clown. Right, if we bulldoze that... Right, wait, oi, stop. Right, otherwise, you're going to encounter exactly the same problem that your assistant has just... no, you're not, because we're about to flipping reduce the number of carriages on the train. Right, no, you haven't grabbed that properly. There you go. Go from... I don't know. Is there a snappy point here? That feels snappy. 7 buildings will be removed. You've got that wrong. Okay. And something like this. There you go. That's it. That's good. That's lovely. Right there. Okay, good. Yes. You may now proceed. Okay, and now we'll just hang around long enough to watch this one switch direction. Just to ensure that we have now got enough space in the station, because that is the longest thing I've ever run. Or is it? No. The missing goods train is pretty lengthy. Now let's see what this does when it flips. Hopefully, it matches to the. There you go. Much better. Right. Now, its capacity isn't all that, but it should be able to do the necessary there. Meanwhile, no sign of the train. Well, we'll scout the route, but still no sign at the current time. What are you? No, you're a passenger service. So let's follow this around. What's going on here? Nothing. Where's it gone? Anybody seen it at all? It thinks it can get to the route, but as yet it hasn't. This system works quite well, incidentally. I know there are 2 trains waiting there at the same time. It only really falls apart when you have to wait for this one to get going up this slope. There was no way of avoiding that. It just needed to be done. But because the slope is quite severe, its acceleration is hampered. But most of the time it manages to do that just fine. Now we could cheat, we could pull up the route and look for it that way. But I prefer to just question the sanity of the entire situation. Now, if it were going to be anywhere, it would surely be out here somewhere, winding its way in. But I'm not seeing it. And that's why I chose the depot I did, because I'd expected it to come in this way. But as of this moment, oh, what are you? No, you are an ICE. Okay, well, it's out there somewhere, like the truth, and therefore it will only be a small amount of time before it appears. Right then, now, in the last episode, I built a commuter service for Gotham. No, Arkham, yes. Let's see how that's doing, shall we? Right. Commuters are Spinwood. 2. Well, that's just from one station. This is more about how's the overall network performing. 2, yes. Well, if we call up the route map, then we'll know that's the bank balance, which looks fine, by the way. Thanks for asking. We'll call up the route map. What's it called? It's commuter, yeah. Arkham. Ah, there we go. It's right. Spinwood has got 40 some odd of 200. All right. And the Widdershins has got 40 some odd, yes, of 200. Oh. So there you go. There's that. It may improve over time. Obviously, Arkham is still the smallest city, and that's because I bulldozed it. But it has, actually, since the last episode, it's pushed over 1,000 now. And to the point that it is not the smallest town anymore. That privilege falls to Gotham. So let's turn our attention there, given that we just went past it. And we'll set a commuter route up here as well. Now then, as luck would have it, I have already put in a bridge. And then you've got a bypass that runs around the edge of town. Okay. That's fine. Oh, look at this. This is where I've used some swanky road, look. Oh, that's lovely. Right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do here. Since this says bus, 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 we'll have the bus stop here. There we go. Right, okay. From there, we're going to want to hit... Show me catchments, please. Well, not catchments, zones. Alright, so if we're hitting along here, what's the kind of range we should be expecting? Pretty reasonable, but you're still going to want one out here. So I guess this end-of-line kind of swoop out is not as daft as I might have positioned it just moments ago. And then if we stick another one out here to give the AI a notion, and then yeah, that's respectable. That's a reasonable place for one. And then what? Do we want to swing by the enormous station? I don't think we do. I think we'll stop over here, and then for our final trick, we'll stop over there. Now, this does not lend itself towards any kind of a turning service at the moment, so we'll soon change that. Because I am a fan of me figure eights, you know. I know you wouldn't have guessed, but I really am. So if we were to stick this one up here somewhere, then we could flip it about with abandon, without ever having to go any further than this, which is even better. Actually, maybe if I stick it in here, that would work. Right, we don't need it to have tram track. Okay, right. Now then, route up. Let's be having you. Purple, nice colour. Right, we'll start here. Tram there. Yes. Not tram, bus. Whatever. And then that one. And then over here. This is quite a simple route, actually. That's not one. This is one. Out to there. Out to here. Back to basics. And then back we go the other way. Okay. Now this works reasonably well. I mean, if you see the objective of a commuter line of just moving people around and not having to be intrinsically profitable, then this, what I call a figure eight, you have to imagine that the bus stop here, the bus station, is the middle of the figure eight. It actually works reasonably well, just in terms of moving people around. Are you going to make any money out of it? No. Are you that bothered? Well, that's up to you. But not me. I'm not. Gotham. Right. Show me a truck depot. All right, a road depot. There's one. Buy road vehicles. Come on, this shouldn't be a big request of you. Now then, what should we stick on this one? I don't think we will go with the bendy bus. We will take the Van Hall Ag 300 U of on this one. 100 kilometres an hour it's capable of. Oh, how majestic. And we'll run however many that is. 5. Feels like a good number. And we'll run that on commuter Gotham. There you go, son. Get to work. We'll even go zoom in, because this triple bendage going on the bus there, it's not something you see every day. Yeah, oh, look at it. Chasing this car out in the garage. It's only a Fiat 500. I mean, you know, we could easily drive over the top of that if we needed to. And probably would if it got in the way. But we do have, you know, this is... If this routes a few more people down to the train station... Oh, look at this. This concertina stuff's working really nicely. Enough respect to the mod makers here. They've done a belter of a job on this one. Actually, I don't have a mod where I can't say to the mod makers, you've done this is a solidly good piece of work. There you go. Big props, mod makers. Right, what are you? You're a double header. Yeah, okay. What do you want? A medal? No, what we're looking for is the Santa Fe, which is around somewhere, or it flipping better be, because it wasn't inexpensive. What's that one disappearing there? Don't just randomly pick at trains. You've got 100 plus at least that you're running at the moment. Oh, this looks promising. Nope. That's the Supply Stag Arc hub. Of course it is. What else have we got? Nope, you're not it. It must surely have arrived by now. Well, look, here's the food train doing yet another run. Looking kind of old at the same time, but I'm sure it's fine. Let's just have a look out here and see if it's actually moving or not. What are you? So that's the Alco Krapuk Direct there, doing another scenic run through the mountains. But what I'm not seeing is the big train doing its thing. Right, okay, there's nothing else for it. We're going to have to go find it. Right, this trains, yes, visible only. Look for a green one. It's here. Right, okay, so it's currently making a loss of 8.5 million, but that's less of a concern because I don't think it's actually in position yet. You're waiting for a free path. All right, well, that's fine. Where are you waiting for a free path? This feels suspiciously like you're very close to Alpha Complex. Suspiciously like it. And is that the front of the train? It is the front of the train. In which case, second question, what are you waiting for? Oh, hold on. What's this? You're going to head up here. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this goes out to the Arc Hub. So that's fine. And yet, you've done a whole lap in order to get to this point. Have I really made it that difficult to get out to the Arc Hub? Because if I have, that's not a good thing. Or, there's the Shinkansen. Right, hold on. Before I go any further, I need to change the colour on that. I did this like 3 episodes ago or something. Change it black. Well, that's better-ish, I suppose. Change it light grey. That's better still. All right, okay, you're fine. As you were. Right, okay, so this chap's now going to turn around. I mean, admittedly, he's taking as long as it's possible to take to load some construction materials at the moment. The loading speeds on these individually modded wagons vary considerably. And therefore, if you're not careful, you end up picking one that takes a long time to load. However, what have we got going on here? We've got a piece of double track. Okay, this is going to work. So presumably, after you hit this signal, I'm going to hit the afterburners here. I ain't got all day. Then the missing train will proceed further up this line. One would assume. Now the good news is that the train ahead of it is no slouch. It's a nice quick Deutsche Bahn rail freight special in red. And as you probably know already, red ones really do go faster. Chances are this fella here was blocking however many freight trains behind it as well. So getting this properly situated is going to be beneficial. It is going to be a bit long for some stations though, but that's the benefit we get from having dedicated stations. As long as it is not too long for the double-tracked section of track here. Oh, there we go. We're rocketing up there, but that's because I've got the turbos on. And now it's stopped again. Why has it stopped again? There shouldn't be anything to get in its way. Where are you going? You're going up here, where there are precious few signals. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you get a bit closer. Let's put a signal on there. That should get it moving again. Should. Let's see. No, there we go. Right, it's moving up to the next one because I suspect the tail end of that was blocking the points, allowing these chaps to continue their movement. Because that's the second railjet service there. I think it's a railjet. It might not be, but let's assume for the sake of argument it is. Oh, hold on. Slow down. This is a good view. There you go. Look at that. You've got a triple-header Santa Fe and a double-headed BNSF passing one another in a station, both dwarfing this Taiwanese-China friendship wagon. No, Taiwanese-Japanese friendship train, which is lovely. It's a wonderful sentiment, and we can all learn a lot from it. Okay, how much further? Right, it is going to be in position by the next episode. And I invite you to join me then, where we shall frolic with one another as we look at this service actually running. Because I feel like depressing myself, I'm going to see if there's any freight waiting for it at the moment. As it happens, yes, there is. Hooray! Victory is mine. Admittedly, a smaller train would have probably done the job just as well. But who's really counting? Other than all of us, of course. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. We've got a little way to go left on this series, and then we'll move on to brighter things. I'm trying to find an interesting view for you here. I mean, you know, you've got this truck-based vista just here, but I'm not sure that's what tickles your fancy. Well, it tickles my fancy, so we'll settle with it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio. So there's not an awful lot left to do in this series now. I think I've pretty much got all the industries connected. I'm going to have one more quick look around and make sure that everything has at least a connection to somewhere. And then we'll run through a period of evaluation and a little bit of minor tinkering to try and spruce things up a little bit. I don't know if you caught in the line list earlier on, but at least one of the mainline goods routes runs unprofitable every other year. And that's possibly due to the bunching up of trains. So I might try and fix that, or I might just leave it, because it works when it works. The only thing that doesn't work is packing the lines out entirely with trains. Although that's something I might do as part of an end-of-season finale. Is I don't know, fling 20 or so up each route and see what happens. But we're coming up on that fairly soon, and there'll be a live stream that you can tune into and join in when we run that. So keep your ears open for when that's going to be. Probably a few episodes left to go before we do that, though.